1.56 pounds and 1.09 pounds.
What's that for?
For our first dinner here. Oh man!
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but I don't know what it means.
What was? No, I said what was she saying?
Help the homeless?
Help the homeless. That would make sense.
What were you saying?
Happy Goblets.
Happy homeless. And what does that translate into, honey?
Help the homeless. Stupid.
Are you okay?
It's hard.
Are you still tired? Look, there's the Popo again. The whole police department.
Where?
In the blue and pink neon.
Oh, yeah, I already got a picture of that.
My name is Gentleman Tour Guide driver is Mr. Dela Cruz, downtown bus. And we're going towards the Empire State Building, Soho, Chinatown. Battery Park World Trades at the site. Now, any folks on the bus want to go take the Brooklyn tour? They want to take the Brooklyn tour? The Brooklyn tour next departure will be 3 o'clock from Battery Park. Now, we should make that. We should. We'll see. If you folks want to go on a night tour tonight, the night tour has 2 departure points. One is Times Square, 47th and Broadway. Second departure point is 47th Street and 8th Avenue. The first night tour is 6 o'clock. They run every 15 minutes till 9:30 at night for the night tour. Here on our right is the the old Paramount Theater. And this was a regular theater one time. In the 1940s, Frank Sinatra sang here. And your great-grandmothers, the Bobby Sockers, screamed out his name. That's right. Great-grandma and grandma had their day too. Let me tell you something, okay? Grandma was always home baking cookies. She only tells you the story she wants you to hear. Right? That's right. All right, we're crossing 42nd Street in a moment. And as we cross 42nd Street, you'll look right across to the right-hand side of us, a sign for the show 42nd Street. Folks, I just love that show. It's a great show. Show 42nd Street. There's a sign right there. To our right is the show Lion King. And then also to our right is Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. The Wax Museum costs you $22. It's one of the few museums open 7 days a week. Most museums you look see it are closed on Mondays. Alright, now while we're here at this traffic light, let me explain again about the discount theater coupons. It's always important to save money. Alright, now, if you go into the visitor center again, Times Square, there's a big desk in the middle. The person on that desk has these discount theater coupons. He may have something for Chicago, 42nd Street Cabaret. With a discount theater coupon, you can save about $30 to $40 with the price of a theater ticket. You take the coupon, go to the box office, and you can buy a ticket for tomorrow, next day, next week. And also use your credit card. TKTS is only for the same day, okay? Now, TKTS will be open today at 3 p.m. And tomorrow, Saturday, most Broadway shows, again, girls always get a discount ticket for. I know we just left the theater district, and we are now in the garment district. And if you look right across the street, left-hand side coming up, see a big button and needle. That's a symbol of the garment district, left-hand side. The garment district goes from 40th Street here up to 35th Street, one block to the right, one block to the left. And all the big designs are here, Gucci, Versace, and Taylor, TKNY. Now if you look on the left-hand side also, right, you see a Jewish man by the sewing machine. See the statue here, left-hand side? Now, at one time, most of the workers here in the garment district were Eastern European Jewish people. Many Italian Americans also worked in the garment district. My mother worked in the garment district. Most of the workers today are Latinos and Asians. Now, on all the big designs are here in the garment district. TKNY is down here, Ann Taylor, all these guys, Gucci, all these guys. And on these side streets, there are stores that sell wholesale and retail. Buy 5 buttons down here or 5,000 buttons. Buy 1 yard of fabric or 1,000 yards of fabric. If you upper floors, there are factories where they make many of the clothes. Now, the garment industry is one of our biggest industries here in New York City. Another big industry, of course, is banking and finance. Another big industry is entertainment, movies, TVs, things like that, shows. Another big industry is the restaurant industry. But there's one business, one industry that's bigger than all the rest. What do you think the #1 business in New York City is? Of course, tourism, not drugs. Tourism, yeah. Last year, 35 million people visited New York City and they all spent money. God bless you, tourists, we love you. We're expecting 37 million this year, 2 million more. And don't you worry, we'll find room, okay? 2 or 3 can stay with me. 5, 6, so Mr. Dela Cruz downstairs, he's got a bigger place. Now, in World 5, in Manhattan, right now we're in Manhattan, and on Manhattan Island, 1.3 million people live in Manhattan. 1.3 million on this island. And Monday through Friday, 3.5 million more coming here going to work. Myself and Mr. Dela Cruz came here to see you folks today. And we're very happy with this, and a nice bunch of people. So far, anyway. We have 2.5 hours to go. Now you guys are going. Alright, now our next step is going to be Macy's. And we're not allowed to make a left-hand turn on 34th Street by Macy's. We have to go around the block. And the reason why we can't make a left-hand turn is because the mayor said we can't. And Mayor Bloomberg has enough trouble as it is without me and Dela Cruz getting any more trouble. Our mayor, Mr. Bloomberg, is a billionaire with a B, not a millionaire with an M. That's right. And sad to say, the mayor is not very popular. He has an approval rating of about 25%. It gets better. 65% of New Yorkers said they wouldn't even have dinner with the guy. That's right. Now, why is he so unpopular? Because he had to raise taxes, property taxes, taxes, what do you call it, sales taxes, things like that. And people don't like that kind of thing, so he's not a very popular guy, sad to say. There's another reason, too, I'll tell you in just a moment. But first of all, I'll tell you about that in a moment. Look on the left-hand side, we get into this intersection, you see the Empire State Building. So I love. It'll be the tall building with a monkey on top. Oh, in the track? Okay. You'll see in just a moment. One more thing about the mayor. Another reason why the mayor is so unpopular, because of the cigarette laws. Are there any smokers on the bus? As of March 30th, there's no smoking in the bars. That's right. Are you from California? No, you just don't like to smoke. Our laws are like your laws. Yeah. In California, you can buy all what you want, but you can't smoke in any place. Same way in New York City also. Yeah. So a lot of people are very unhappy about that. Even though there it is right there. Oh, wait, I don't see King Kong. What time is it? Oh, King Kong's on lunch. He goes to lunch from 1 to 2. All right, let's swing right around to the right now. You look right ahead of us, you'll see Madison Square Garden. And that's where the Knicks play. It's our men's basketball team. The Liberty plays there. It's our ladies basketball team. The Rangers play there. They have concerts there. They have tennis there. They have boxing there. This Madison Square Garden you see here is not the original. It's Madison Square Garden number 4. The first two were located downtown at 23rd Street. The other one was located back on 50th and 8th and 1968 when we brought over here. Now actually, if you look here on the left, the round building is actually Madison Square Garden. So you say to yourself, wait a minute, if it's round, why do they call it Madison Square Garden? Well, when we get down to where the original Madison Square Garden was, you'll understand exactly how it got its name. Now look out the window directly ahead of us. You see a gray building, the United States Post Office. That is one of the largest post offices in the United States. They're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year, even up on Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Christmas. And they're very busy in that building on April 15th, right guys? In the United States, we have a window of opportunity to send our tax bill to government. January 1st, April 15th. If the government owes us money, when do we file our taxes? January. If we owe them money, when do we file our taxes? April 15th. Every year in that post office on April 15th at 11 o'clock at night, there's still folks doing their taxes. Now, get your cameras out, guys. You want to take a picture of the Empire State Building if you'd like to. We'll be making our right-hand turn and get a good shot of the Empire State Building. We'll make this right-hand turn. On the right-hand side of us is Duane Reade Pharmacy. What's so important about that? Well, pharmacies are good. It's a good knowing the pharmacies are. Not so much for aspirin, but for film. That's right. Do not buy film at the hotel. Do not buy film at the museums. And please, don't buy film at the Empire State Building. That's the worst place to buy film. I had a lady on the bus the other day, and she was going to the Empire State Building, and she needed film. She said, I'll just wait to get to the top of the Empire State Building. Well, she did that. She bought 2 rolls of film. They charge her $21. That's 2 rolls, not 2 packets. So I said to her, well, you know, why did you take them both? She said, well, he already rang them up. So tell the guy to unring them, right? Of course they got you. Also, pharmacies sell bottled water. You guys like that bottled water, I know that, right? Yeah. Well, I don't get this whole thing with the water. Let me talk about water here for a minute. Hold on a second. See this bottle of water? I bought it in May. It's going to last me till October. I fill it up every day. That's right. At the end of the day, I always find these bottles all over the bus. Folks, when they're empty, what you do with them? Fill them up, refill them. It's water, right guys? 10 years ago, you would never have thought about buying water. Now everybody buys water. The worst is when I go to a restaurant, I see somebody next to me having a bottle of water. You crazy? All right. And don't tell me about microbes. You know, these microbes going to get into your system, you have to refill it. Just rinse it out good. Now granted, I lost all my hair from all that water, but I saved a lot of money anyway. Right across the street, left-hand side of us, is the Hotel New Yorker. Hotel New York is owned by the Unification Church. That's Reverend Moon's group. Now, in all 5 counties, there are 8 million of us. That's right, just like me. Well, it's something different. And, yeah, 8 million New York, we have 8 million New Yorkers living here, and we speak now. Now, some of the Americans aren't too sure about that, and the folks in the UK, they know it's not English, it's American. 1 million kids go to our schools, with 80,000 school teachers, 37,000 policemen, 10,000 firemen, and 7,500 sanitation men. New York's finest, our firemen are New York's bravest, our sanitation men are New York's strongest. Not horsepower to garbage, it takes muscles to fill those garbage cans. Now making a right-hand turn on 34th Street, we're heading west, east I should say, on 34th Street. Now something to remember as you walk around the city. All the streets go east-west. Streets go east-west, all views go north-south. Have you noticed that the east-west blocks are very long, and north-south blocks are short? Did you find that out the hard way? Don't you just hate those things you learn the hard way? Well, let me explain what we're talking about. If you're at 42nd Street and 7th Avenue, and you'd like to go to Macy's, that's 34th and 7th, that's 8 short blocks away, easy to walk. However, if you're at 42nd Street and 7th Avenue, and you'd like to go to the United Nations, that's 42nd and 1st, that's 8 long blocks. So north-south is short, east-west is very long. 20 north-south blocks are 1 American mile, and 20 north-south blocks are 1.6 kilometers. Alright, our next stop is going to be Macy's. Let me look this next stop for Macy's. Any Macy's? You know Macy's? Alright. Just so you guys know, I'm a medium and Derek Cruz an extra large. Derek Cruz, you're extra large or a large? Large? Yeah, he's a large. He's a large. Nelson's getting the wrong size. We're running every 10-15 minutes, and Last bus at Macy's will be about, I don't know, about maybe 515, 520, I think about 520. Macy's is the world's largest department store. It opens 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday till 8:30 at night, Sundays till 7 p.m. They open at 10 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Saturday, and 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And they take all major credit cards. Now, why do I say they take all major credit cards? Because at one time, they only took the Macy's card. Yeah, they took everybody's card. And at Macy's you see there is not the original Macy's. That's Macy's number 3. The original Macy's was located south of 14th Street. That building is gone. Macy's number 2 was on 14th Street, and that building is there. We'll see Macy's number 2. And in 1902 they moved to that spot, right ahead of us. Now I'm sure everybody saw the movie Titanic. Do you remember the elderly gentleman and lady went down with the ship? She didn't want to leave her husband. They went to bed together, they just went down with the ship. That was Ida and Isidore Strauss. They owned Macy's. They bought Macy's from a man named Roland Macy. Now Roland Macy was a commercial fisherman, and he decided to try the retail business. He was not successful, and the Strauss family bought him out. Now it's changed hands many times. It's known by Federated Department Stores, but of course the name always stays Macy's. It's the same thing with Bloomingdale's. You know Bloomingdale's at 59th Street and Lex? Bloomingdale's, of course, is no longer owned by the Bloomingdale family, also owned by Federated Department Stores. Of course, that name always stays Bloomingdale's also. Who's from the UK? Anybody on a bus from the UK, United Kingdom? Who owns Harrods? Who owns Harrods? You own Harrods? Yeah. Mr. Al-Fayed, right? Mr. Al-Fayed, are you guys going to change the name? You going to change the name to Mr. Al-Fayed's place? Of course not. Harrods, right? We'll go to London, we won't go to Harrods. You guys go to New York City, want to shop at Macy's and Bloomingdale's? Yep. Harrods is located in Knightsbridge. You have at 10 a.m. That's right. Been to London twice. Gotta love going to the UK. Everybody speaks English. Love that. Very easy for me. The last boat to the statue is 4:30. So I would suggest if you want to go to the statue and the Empire State Building, you should stay on the bus. Of course, you're on vacation. Also remember, the next Brooklyn tour is 3 o'clock. So if you want to go to the Brooklyn tour for Battery Park, I would just also stay right with us. But of course, you're on holiday, you do it everywhere.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Folks, remember this song, Give My Regards to Broadway?
Yeah.
Mamita Harold Square?
Yeah.
Remember
We're
that
not
song?
going to
Yeah.
Well, directly ahead
Yeah.
of us, that big intersection is Herald
Yeah.
Square. And Herald Square is named after the newspaper, New York Herald. And they're in this area. They're actually 2 blocks to our left. They're gone now. Alright. Got a fire truck behind us. I'll come to a stop here in a moment. Empire State Building. Lunch. Alright, is there anything else that's going to stop? Empire State Building. Empire State Building. Alright, no state's getting off. Yes, getting off?
Yeah.
Not getting off. Alright, the Empire State Building is 1,250 feet tall, 280 meters tall, on 2 floors high. It's an office building, nobody lives here. You got that, girls? You meet some guy in a bar, invite you back to his place for a drink, and he says, this is the Empire State Building, you're not going with him. He's not going to leave you here. He's not going to take you here. He's going to stop at the Empire State Building. Meters tall, 102 floors high. Now the last elevator goes up 11 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night. We're open at 9:30 in the morning. Now before the Empire State Building was here, there was a hotel called the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Does that sound familiar? Yes, same one. The city began to tear down the Waldorf on October 30th, 1929. And the Empire State Building opened up May 5th, 1931. Do the math, folks. That's 19 months. Now it gets better. From the time they actually began to build the Empire State Building, lay the foundation, to the time they opened up, that took 13 months. And one particular day, they built 2 floors. You must remember this was the Depression, right? And these men were just happy they had a job. When the boss said jump, you asked them how high. Now in 1931, when the Empire State Building opened up, it was only about 20% occupied. And folks who started to call it at that time the empty state building. It did not become really 100% occupied until World War II. Now, of course, there are many movies attached to the Empire State Building. My three favorites are King Kong, Sleepers in Seattle, and my all-time favorite, An Affair to Remember. Anybody seen An Affair to Remember? Oh, with Cary Grant and Deborah Carr. It's a very sad movie with a happy ending. Also, there was a remake with Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. Anybody see the remake? How was the remake? Was it okay? I mean, I know it's a remake. I'll make it out turn here. You see that? Yeah, the guy made the turn, and some guy whacked the hook with because he didn't respect their space. A lot of security in the city, guys. A lot of security. All right, we're heading south on 5th Avenue. Now, something to remember as you're walking around the city. 5th Avenue separates Manhattan from the east side to the west side. As you go down 5th Avenue, and then left to the east side, the west side. You come back the other way, of course. It's reversed. But you knew that. As you continue south, you cross on 32nd Street, next traffic light. As you cross 32nd Street, move to your right, and you see many Korean signs. This is what we call Little Korea to our right, on 32nd Street. Everybody speaks English, they take all major credit cards, and we're happy to see it.
Chinatown?
Now, out the window, directly ahead of us, you see a tree. I was like, it was right-hand side. I was like, those trees and landmarks. That tree's in front of a church called the Margaret Coolidge Church in 1854. And on March 16th of last year, Liza Minnelli got married in the Margaret Coolidge Church. Now, of course, myself and Mr. Dela Cruz were invited to the wedding. It was Saturday at the work. But we did RSVP, and Dela Cruz had a lovely toast to Ice of Blender, which incidentally we want back because we're getting a divorce. I didn't even use the toaster yet, right? It was like 13-month wedding, 13-month marriage. Unbelievable. Close right here. The Margaret Coolidge Church. Also, back in 1999, Donald Trump's father had his funeral service in this church. Donald Trump's father, funeral service. Fred Trump. Fred Trump was 93 years old when he died. 93 years old. And up to 2 weeks before he died, he still went to work. That's what Donald Trump got his start from his father. Directly ahead of us is a building you've seen a million times in pictures, right, folks? It's a flat iron building. Now, why is it called a flat iron building? We'll do it. And you can stand up, yeah. Good. The best iron building is in Terran Tower, we don't care. It's in tiny bits. Yeah, there's an iron, right? The iron did close it. It was 1902. It's an office building, nobody lives there. You folks saw the movie Spider-Man? Yeah, the flat iron building was a Daily Bugle. The Bureau computers. Yeah. It was also featured in Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. It gets destroyed in that movie too. Well, it didn't get destroyed in Spider-Man. Now, directly ahead of us, you see some more trees there. And those trees are in front of a park called Madison Square Park. What do you think was behind Madison Square Park at one time? Madison Square Garden. Look out, he does a show. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, number 1, and number 2 were located right behind the park. And that's how Madison Square Garden got its name. We just make it up. The building behind the park with the clock
We walked through here before.
Life. Yeah, did you ever wonder how it got its name? Yes, you did. Look behind us. See the monument there? The tall monument? There, behind us? The guy buried in that monument was William Jefferson's work. There was a big general in the Mexican War. And in Fort Worth, Texas, that's the guy buried right there. He was in New York. Now, they don't teach that in Texas schools. No, they don't. Because the Texas kids are the young.
And this is by where we stayed last time. Because we stayed right next to that building with the gold on the top.
You had to hear from me. I'm very sorry about that. We're going to stop coming up 23rd Street and 5th Avenue. Stop at Chelsea and the Flatiron Building. And then go to this next stop. Chelsea, Flatiron Building. Everyone else says getting up? Okay. Now, just so you know also, if you folks like flea markets, every Saturday and Sunday on 6th Avenue and 25th Street, 1 block to our right and 2 blocks up, there's a flea market. Every Saturday and Sunday on 6th Avenue and 25th Street. They don't sell fleas, they sell like various different kinds of stuff. We're going to stop. We're just going to have to
That's all right.
Alright, we just crossed 23rd Street.
Can't believe it's
and
empty,
we're
huh?
now to a Starbucks grocery. We're
not
to our
empty.
right is where Chelsea. Now it's not
It's an
named
office
after
building,
Mr.
honey.
Clinton's daughter Chelsea. No, it's not. It's named after that building was called Chelsea. This person, for $1 we get a breakfast. 50 cents for a cup of coffee, 50 cents another bagel. That's breakfast, right? Now it's not Starbucks, but then again it's not like $7 either. The coffee, there's no vendor here, but like, in little hotels with the coffee vendors. There's not one
Look in
here.
there,
They're all
working
over
out.
Midtown. Can you see the guys with the coffee, some coffee and donuts and things? Oh, they're there, believe me. They're there. They're all over the place. Looking out right hand turn now. They're mostly coffee vendors that just work in the morning. We're now going west on up to the Jones. I know upstairs good enough.
The way with people working out.
It's the Brooklyn. Go into the subway and you buy your $4 Metro card and go on your way. Or you can buy your fun pass. We have two kinds of fun passes. We have a $7 fun pass, which is good for unlimited use, bus train, 24 hours. And if you have a particular day where you're bouncing around the city, going here, there, and everywhere, I would suggest buying a $7 pass. By doing that, you save a lot of money without taking taxi cabs. Our taxi cabs are very good, but usually the subway's even better. Now, if you're going to be here 4 days or longer, then I would suggest you buy a $21 fun pass. Again, so unlimited use bus train, 24 hours and 7 days, which is $21. Now, New York City buses are good too. Public buses. There's a bus right ahead of us. Except during rush hour, they're terrible, as in most big cities. Have any of you folks upstairs here been in a New York City bus? Anybody downstairs, New York City bus? Any silly people downstairs? Yeah, sure. Yeah, and the bus will do too, except during rush hour, as I said. The bus will cost you $2, and you can use your Metro card or your front pass or you can pay the bus. If you're going to pay the bus, you must give the driver exact change. Be careful. In New York City, exact change is not $2 $1 bills. No, it's not. It's 8 quarters, 4 quarters and 10 dimes. Any combination of nickels, dimes, and quarters, no pennies. If you give the driver $2 $1 bills, and how much on the bus? That's clearly not you on the bus. And then I don't know, come in California. The newspaper, you saw somebody, that's what you know. All points, folks, all points. No pennies. Next block on our right is St. Vincent's Hospital, the white building. And St. Vincent's is also 2 blocks up on our left. See a blue banner there. St. Vincent's Hospital opened in 1846. It's one of the oldest Catholic hospitals in the United States. Also, St. Vincent's Hospital is the nearest trauma center to the World Trade Center. This point right here only 2.5 miles from the World Trade Center. And so obviously you can quite figure they were very busy on September 11th. Now when we get past the hospital, we're going to see on the left-hand side a chain link fence. 2 blocks up left-hand side. And it's what we call Titles for America. And a little further on the left, past the hospital. These tires you're going to see here in a moment were placed by New Yorkers and tourists alike. The message is that God is America. Now, folks, let me tell you, there's always room for another tile. Always room. Tiles for America. Alright, on a lighter note, we are now in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is one of the largest historical districts in the state. It's very much a very big population here. Most of those homes are in Greenwich Village on the area to our right. And they date from 1825 to 1850. There's also GS clubs in the village, outdoor restaurants, small theaters, and we're going to stop at Greenwich Village. And then let's next stop, Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village. I have time. What's your name? Most of the New Yorkers been seeing while you've been wearing uniforms. Now I'm going to show you somebody from Queens looks like without the uniform on. Jody, could you stand up, please? Sit up, Jody. Come on, Jody. Jody. Oh, New Yorkers are very shy. Okay. That's what people from Queens look like. But they're not as good looking as Jody. Maybe my students didn't buy them. Alright, if you look here on the left-hand side of us, see a Brown Street sign, white lettering? That says 7th Avenue South. When you walk around the city, see a Brown Street sign, white lettering, it means you're in a historical district. You're right on Greenwich Village. Here on our left is Jekyll and Hyde, the themed restaurant. Looks like Crown Hollywood, left inside. And on our right is Actors Playhouse, small theater. The show playing here at the Actors Playhouse is Naked Boys Singing. There are 8 of them. Not boys, they're men. The only thing they're wearing is a smile. Now, Papa Luti did not see that show. At my age, I'm 57 now, and I don't want to see myself naked on the looking bags. On weekends, our bachelorette parties there. And the girls, when the girls getting married, see Naked Boys Singing, this way she don't expect on her honeymoon. Sometimes that backfires. Alright, is anybody going with this next up, Greenwich Village? On upstairs, anybody else says gear for Greenwich Village? Alright, you got about 2 or 3 minutes to think about it. Now, has any of us from the United Kingdom, UK? The folks you know Winston Churchill, Winnie? One of the big wealthy folks who sacked him a year later, remember him? Well, at this stop here for Greenwich Village is Winston Churchill Square. Winston Churchill's mother was an American, her name was Jenny Jerome. Take a wild guess where Jenny was born. Can't fool me, guys, right here in New York. Yeah, her mother. I say historical, hysterical, hysterical, yeah, hysterical, how do you say that? Historical. What's historical? This is from the United States. There's also many Italian signs here. As I said, you might have noticed that because at one time the village was predominantly Italian American. Now it's pretty much everything. And in this part of the village here, you had these coffee shops. And in 1960, Bob killing those guys smoking those 20-stone cigarettes. Now, if any of you folks are fans of the Mamas and the Papas singing group, next block on our right is our show, Dream a Little Dream. And it features all songs from Mamas and Papas. It's North Broadway Theater, and you get tickets for Dream a Little Dream at TKTS. I like the Mamas and Papas. And we'll see it next block on our right. That's all right. And there it is, right over here. Good little dream. This is about the Mamas and Papas.
Wait, that was fast.
Now we're making a right-hand turn on LaGuardia Place. It's the next traffic light. And your whole life you always wonder how LaGuardia Airport kind of stand, right? You thought about that many a night? You go sleep over that? Well, LaGuardia Airport's named after Theodore LaGuardia. He was mayor of New York City, 1933-1945. Mr. LaGuardia was the first Italian-American mayor of New York City. Chef Jewish at the time, only he's full time. And Mr. LaGuardia was born in the village. That's right. Mr. LaGuardia was born in the village. Now, for our friends from Texas, right ahead of us, that next intersection, that street is Houston Street, not Houston Street. Right? Sam Houston was governor of Texas and also governor of Tennessee. He is the only American governor of 2 separate states. William Houston was from the state of Georgia. And he moved up here, on a lot of land, they named Houston Street after him. There was a Houston Street, or there was Houston, Texas. Now, one more thing about William Houston, he was also one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence.
What was that?
All right, we are now south of Houston. Here we are, south of Houston Road. Soho, everybody gets a lollipop. Soho, yeah. You folks, yeah, Soho has nothing to do with London. Yeah, folks in UK do apologize. It means south of Houston, nothing to do with London. Now we call this area the Soho Cast Iron Historic District. And with the words cast iron, because there are many buildings down here, cast iron columns on the buildings, and those columns are there as just part of the facade. It's like nothing to do with the structure of the building.
Huh?
And they buy them there. Put this very lovely cap, t-shirt, pants. Yeah. Next contract, we're going for the socks, shoes, and underwear. I want that gray line underwear. Also, in Soho, you'll find the Firemen's Museum. Firemen's Museum is 5 blocks to our right on Spring Street, 278 Spring Street. It's open 6 days a week, closed on Mondays, which is $5. Now we also have a police museum, and the police museum is located near Battery Park. Open 6 days a week, also closed on Mondays. And we have a stop coming up. We got 4 or 5 minutes. And we get off this next stop is Soho. Everybody else says get off Soho? Well, you have time. You have time to think about it. You got some movie Ghost? Who's some movie Ghost? That was filming in Soho. How about First Wives Club? The one keeping at the art gallery? That was down there. How about the American TV show My Two Dads with Bill Reiser and one of the dads that off to Soho? Remember that? That's okay. It wasn't filmed there anyway. Southern California. Where do you folks come to New York City just to see the Central Park Cafe and Friends? You did? It's in California. There's no Central Park Cafe. Who watches NYPD Blue? It's not filmed here. No. They come here for 2 weeks and go all about those scenes. I'll tell you about this just a minute. Yeah, they come about 3 weeks and we're at those scenes back to California. Now the young lady mentioned Jerry Seinfeld's restaurant. That's a real place. Yes, that's 112th Street in Broadway. That's a real place. 50th Street. There's a second Tennessee Mountain Wood restaurant in Times Square on 45th Street. Now you'll notice as we cross the intersection here that the side streets are all cobblestone. Now at one time, all of New York City was cobblestone, as you see on the side streets. And the other parts they just paved it over. I was at the back of a cookie couple of horses. You know, while we're here, stop this light, let me tell you what is filmed here in New York. Law and Order's filmed here. The Third Watch is filmed here. Sopranos, Ed, and Sex and the City. It's the last year for Sex and the City, guys. No more sex after this. I'll get a kid, tell you. Now, when you see them filming a lot, Sex and the City, you see a lot. Also, you see Law and Order filming a lot. Like I said, as far as NYPD Blue, they're only a few weeks a year. And I'm here right now. NYPD Blue is good. What can I do with this?
There's someone gardening
Now,
up there.
Now, if you have a train that just right serving with your friends, next block on the right-hand side of us is a store called Evolution. To the right. And you might want to bring back your friends a nice skeleton. Now, the whole skeleton costs you $250. Now, you might say, that's too much money. I'll just buy the skull. The skull is $100, make a very nice paperweight. Or perhaps you may want to buy a nice zebra skin for $1,700. Or maybe a bear skeleton for $1,250. Still too much money? All right, how about a t-shirt for $10? This is Evolution, all right. $250 for a plastic skeleton, you're crazy. Well, those aren't real bones, they're plastic bones. Evolution. Then our left is the cast iron building. Now, Soho at one time was mainly factories and warehouses. Any of us from Manhattan? It's them. It's those Manhattanites. We're in every 10-15 minutes. Last bus stop, 5:45. We're right at the spot there. Now, most of the traffic to our right is going to New Jersey through the Holland Tunnel, and much of the traffic to our left is going to Brooklyn over Manhattan Bridge. Just so you know also, and folks are going to on Nitro tonight. The Nitro goes over Manhattan Bridge. And the first Nitro again is 6 o'clock from Times Square, also 6 o'clock from 47th Street in Manhattan. We're running 15 minutes to 9:30. Look at Canal Street, that guy's name, in fact, there was once a canal going along Canal Street. Alright. Here's our stop coming up. Chinatown over here.
Yeah, I think it's DVDs in that
So
box.
first going to the big stop. Also, behind us, that's the municipal building. It's right in the distance. The gold statue here is for civic pride. Now we're going to right place the World Trade Center site. One thing fix your camera, please no standing. Also, I'm going to show you the best viewing point to see the World Trade Center. The best viewing point is the Winter Garden. Alright, the Winter Garden is right across from the site itself. And going to the Winter Garden, you can see down and around. It's a very simple way to walk too. Also, if you go into the Winter Garden, you're going to see the model for the new World Trade Center, which is designed by Daniel Libeskind. So I'm going to show you that building just a little bit. But here on our right, first of all, this is St. Paul's Chapel, and St. Paul's Chapel is used as the best area for records. We're working on 20 files a day up until that day of the last year. Now we're coming into this next intersection. Look to your right, and you see a barn building. The barn building right inside, on the other side of the site, is the Winter Garden. It's very simple to walk here, and again, you get the best view of the whole site. The World Trade Center was 7 buildings, not just 2. And what you're going to see also, as you look around, the construction that's going on in the site itself is a subway station. Within the building subway station. That's what that is. Also, you're going to see a building being built right adjacent to the World Trade Center. The building you'll see being built is a brand new number 7. The old number 7 is 47 floors high, it was 52 floors high. See, 6 of the buildings were on the site, and the 7 stood just adjacent to it. Now we're from Liberty Street here, and what you're going to do is you're back up Broadway, make a turn on Liberty Street, go over the highway, find Color Street and Winter Garden. The 45 year from New Jersey owned the World Trade Center. And 6 weeks before the attack, a man named Larry Silverstein, used to be 99, and now goes Mr. Silverstein. A lifetime was over, isn't it? The building you see on our right with the curtain is Deutsche Bank. And Deutsche Bank is coming down. Yep. There also is a stage that you lose not damage. On Liberty Street stood right opposite Tower 1 and Tower 2. There's only one building, one business still open on Liberty Street, and it's the Burger King. And they're open by 2 weeks ago. On our right from that is Trinity Church of 1846. And folks, the next up is Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and Brooklyn Court. Now, to our left coming up is Wall Street. This is Wall Street to our left. And the Stock Exchange located at the corner of Wall and Broad. Stock Exchange is the second building on the right. This is Stock Exchange. And you can visit the Stock Exchange, just look around the building, but there are no tours. No tours since September 11th. Now, our next up is Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and also if you want to get back to World Trade Center, you can. So, also go to Wall Street. Now, if you just want to see the statue rather than visit it, at this next stop, you can catch the Staten Island Ferry. Staten Island Ferry is a free ferry ride, you need tickets, goes right past Statue of Liberty, and some very nice pictures. Also, it's the next stop. Now, we have tickets already for the boat. Make a right-hand turn, we'll bite you apart, we're going to boat. But we need tickets, we'll tickets on the curve. $11. Orange boat on the left-hand side. Orange boat. Yeah, no, they do not let you up in the statue. Yeah, you cannot go into the statue, you can only go onto the island. And it's going to go to September 11th. There's no one up into the statue. Now again, our last bus is going to be about 6:15, every 10-15 minutes. This is Bowling Green Park on our left. It's the oldest park in the city. The building right ahead of us is the old customs house. Tell you how you guys can book it. Last booking tour is 3 o'clock. One booking tour left.
Oh, yeah.
You have tickets, we're right to the park to our right, and tickets, we have tickets on the curb. Staten Island Ferry is directly ahead of us. That's the free ferry ride, directly ahead of us. Just go on the boat. We'll start with Brooklyn tour. Statue of Liberty, World Trade Center, Staten Island Ferry. Here we go. To England with guns and jeeps and tanks, the big World War II effort. And then, before they left, they filled the Liberty ships up with rubber from the Blitz, you know, so it was ballast, hold the ship down. Because the anti-ship North Atlantic got caught in a bathtub. You folks in the UK, you go into this house, we're under any of these buildings. Feel the Palmer. Here on our right is the New York City Vietnam Memorial. See the green wall there on our right? And on that wall are letters that were written by many men from New York City who died in Vietnam. Our big wall crossed in Washington, D.C. Now we're crossing this next intersection, and as you do it to your right, you'll see the New York City Police Museum. The building where the police museum is in, that was once a police station house. It's open 6 days a week, closed on Mondays, and it goes for $5. Now we also have a Fireman's Museum. The Fireman's Museum is located in Soho, 278 Spring Street. Also open 6 days a week, closed on Mondays, goes for $5. Now we're making a right-hand turn at this next traffic light, and to our left will be Wall Street. Now we saw Wall Street on the way downtown years ago, and Wall Street gets its name from the Dutch. The Dutch put the wall along Wall Street to protect the colony against the Native Americans and the English. Now, unfortunately for the Dutch, the English came by sea and the war didn't do any good. Now, the stock exchange is located on the corner of Wall and Broad. It is open for business or closed for tours. It's been closed since September 11th. So, two things still closed since September 11th. Stock exchange for tours and the Statue of Liberty, as far as going up to the statue. Everything else is back to normal. Or if you want to put New York City normal. And there's Wall Street, I don't know. And our next step will be the South Street Seaport. It's an area of restaurants and shops. Also, South Street Seaport Museum is there. So there's also a TKTS at South Street Seaport. Directly ahead of us is the East River. And the highway you see there is FDR Drive, the Franklin Delaware Drive. And the buildings you see there on the other side of the East River are all Brooklyn. Now, we're going to stop coming out for South Street Seaport. And we have this next stop, South Street Seaport. Anything else? Downstairs? All right. Now, Brooklyn is ahead of us, and Brooklyn is our largest county in population. 2.5 million people live in Brooklyn. Our largest county area is the county of Queens. And Brooklyn and Queens share an island called Long Island. There are two other counties on Long Island. They are Nassau County and Suffolk County. Nassau County and Suffolk County are part of New York State, not part of New York City. Now again, next up we'll do the Seaport. And the South Street Seaport is very much like Quincy Market in Boston, you know, Harbor in Baltimore, but nowhere near as big. It's very, very small. And we'll be seeing in just a moment. Again, if anybody upstairs can look, it's next stop, South Street Seaport. Okay, anybody upstairs can look? Can look? No. The Brooklyn Tour also stops here. The Brooklyn Tour also stops at the Seaport. Yeah. The Brooklyn Tour starts starting back to here. Okay. Why should we do that at 5 PS3? I can't get it off. There's the weather tree. Flying this vessel, taking the German vessel. And there's Pier 17. There's the bus up to shops. And there's John Street to our left. Now, on John Street to your left, you'll see the TKTS, just like the one in Times Square. It's a great building, it's TKTS. And there's South Street Seaport Museum. Now you're moving off. We'll do the last chance to get the building tour. So you want to buy maybe 2 cases of flounder coming in about midnight. And curve on our right, there's the Brooklyn Bridge. It was opened in 1883. The second bridge you see in the distance is the Manhattan Bridge, which was opened in 1909. the third bridge, all the business, the third bridge in the business was the Williamsburg Bridge, which was in 1903. So there are three bridges connecting Brooklyn and Manhattan. Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and Williamsburg Bridge. And the original number of three bridges is just remember P and W. Like the car, like this is like the car, right? Now, these bridges are on the right side of the street. If you go to the right, cross over Manhattan Bridge, and look to your right. So, right comes in, I'm sorry, cross over Manhattan Bridge, cross over Manhattan Bridge, 3 minutes, come to the Burns, right to the Now, Brooklyn is our largest county population. Now, if Brooklyn were a city, by itself, it would be the fourth largest city in the United States in population. The largest city in the United States in population is New York City, 8 million people. Then comes Los Angeles, then comes Chicago, then comes Houston, Texas. However, more people live in Brooklyn than live in Houston, Texas. Now, at one time, Brooklyn was a city all by itself, as was Manhattan, as was Queens, as was the Bronx, as was Staten Island. In 1898, it became one large city here in New York. Now the word Brooklyn, the name Brooklyn is a Dutch word, means broken land. And the actual real name of Brooklyn is Kings County, named King Charles of England. Queens County is near Brooklyn's right capital. Brooklyn's also known as the borough of churches. At one time, all the four buildings in Brooklyn were churches. Now Brooklyn are museums. The Brooklyn Museum is there, Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn Museum has one of the largest Egyptian artifacts outside of Cairo. Also, there's a zoo in Brooklyn. Every county in New York City has a zoo. And the zoo in Brooklyn is a Fossil Park Zoo. There's an aquarium in Brooklyn. Brooklyn has its own baseball team, Brooklyn Cyclones. And I guess I should know by now, tree grows in Brooklyn. What was it set up? Look at the movie of Brooklyn. Was it done already? It's done already? Unbelievable. I remember it was a great lake without a shore. Now, here on our left is a large mountain of rock salt. Now, rock salt is used to melt snow and ice. On pressing rock salt, it's used to be around the city, and when snow is trucks and put the rock salt on the snow. On the projects, PJs, low-income housing. Every county in New York City has low-income housing, and we have very good low-income housing. And the rent is based on what you earn. A family of four earning about $25,000 a year, the rent in low-income housing, the 2 bedrooms, is about $600 a month, which of course is very good for New York City. We're back in Chinatown. On the way downtown, Chinatown was very small, didn't it? Well, folks, Chinatown is not small, it's very big. It goes from Madison Street behind us, up to Delancey Street ahead of us, and back to the right, all the way to the river. We have 3 Chinatowns in New York City. One in Manhattan, one in Brooklyn, one in Manhattan, one in Brooklyn, one in Queens. And the largest Chinatown is right here in Manhattan. About 300,000 Chinese Americans live here in this Chinatown. Most of the Chinese Americans here are from Hong Kong and the mainland. To the left-hand side of us is the Hong Kong supermarket. There's about 100,000 Chinese Americans living in Brooklyn, and about the same live in Queens. Those folks are mainly from Taiwan. Have you seen any gas stations yet? Right across the street, left-hand side of us, there's a gas station. Now we have more than one gas station. But there are no gas stations in Midtown Manhattan. That's why it's so expensive. There has to be a gas station in Times Square. We have to pay the same price of gas as those folks outside the United States do. Americans, including myself, are the biggest babies of those prices.
$1.97.
The price will towards the ground and this guy. There's an ambulance coming up. Let me stop coming up. Chinatown, we're at the Lower East Side. There's this guy, right up behind him. And again, this takes... Oh, wait a little bit. Please chase those guys, please. He's probably on lunch. This is very hungry. We will start coming up Chinatown, we'll have to go to the side. And then this next time. Chinatown, we'll go to the side. Maybe 10-15 minutes. Last bus about 6:30. I have no video. Now, literally will be to your left. Okay, if you want to go to Liberty. And the main street of Liberty is Mulberry Street. That's what you want. And Chinatown, you're in Chinatown. The main part of Chinatown, this is going up to your left. And when you get to Mulberry Street, don't squeeze it, don't blink, you're going to miss it. As the name implies, it's very, very slow. Alright, you got to get off. Let's go first and complete stop here. Chinatown and Brown. Okay. We're going to go Chinatown Liberty. As was in that culture, Liberty is good for Pittsburgh and yellow was the Pittsburgh. At one time, only the emperor could wear yellow, use yellow. Now there's no emperor, and China switched all over the world and dressed like them. They sure have. Any of you folks in the movie Crossing the Lancing with Andy Irving? Unless the movie Crossing the Did? What's going to happen in a moment? We're going to cross the Lancing. It's a long story to happy ending. As you cross the Lancing, look to your right, and we'll see the Williamsburg Bridge. Open the next house bridge. And then there's two bridges. Look at that Williamsburg and the other bridge. Now before the Chinese lived here, that's when we were in the Eastern European countries. And before that, the Germans and the Irish lived here. Now, you folks from the movie Gangs of New York, the 5 points are about 3 or 4 blocks to our left. A very famous Irish-American cowboy was born in the Lower East Side. A man named William Bonney. Who's William Bonney?
Billy Kid.
Billy Kid, you got it. Billy Kid was a New Yorker. Yeah, where did he use a gun? Right in Manhattan. Billy Kid was killed in Lincoln County, New Mexico, in the Lincoln County Wars. There was a battle from the farmers and ranchers. And now, if you guys are interested in the Lower East Side and you have a good experience, there's a museum down here, called the Tenement Museum. It is 1 block to our right at 90 Orchard Street. It's also a very good book about the immigrants called How the Other Half Lives, written by Jacob Reese. He was a police photographer. Other pictures, right? Now, I imagine a lot of you folks in the movie in Harry Met Sally, in the restaurant scene. Well, that was filmed in Katz's Deli. Now, we're going to see Katz's Deli on the Cross Houston Street. It's right ahead of us. It'll be to our right, with the intersection, with your right. It's a white sign with red lettering. And if you remember in the movie when Harry Met Sally, Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan in the restaurant, right? There was another woman seated nearby. And all of a sudden, Meg Ryan starts getting very sexy. When the waiter comes and woman seated nearby to take her order, she points Meg Ryan and says, "I'll have exactly what she's having." Who was the woman seated nearby? Who's the Jew? Oh, Rod Ryan's mother. Rod Ryan's correct his mother. Yeah. Rod Ryan's mother. Yeah, very good. Get a lollipop about it. The Katz's Deli opened in 1888. Just a very strong restaurant. They're the best restaurant in the world, actually. Very strong. And we'll be coming into the intersection just a moment. Crossing Houston Street, not Houston Street. That's it, House Street. Don't forget that. The Texans. There we go. And we're crossing Houston Street. And there's Katz's Deli to our right. With that famous in this car. KTGS. In Harry Met Sally. Now we just left the Lower East Side. We're now in the East Village. We call Greenwich Village, the West Village. This here is called the East Village. Now, it's nowhere nearly as charming as Greenwich Village, but let's go home to the East Village. That's okay by me. Dela Cruz, that's okay by him too. All right, now what's down here? We have tattoo parlors. We have body piercing shops. If you can't New York City, then you tongue pierce, nose pierce, pinky pierce, eyebrow pierce, for those spots. How these young people have all these body parts pierced, I have no idea. looks like you're going to need it. And you're going to stop in East Village. Let me go to this next stop, East Village. You want something elbow pierced? No. There's also small theaters in East Village. They show stop and find you. The Orpheum Theater, 2nd Avenue, State Street. Stop is one of those shows. It's always with ticket points. Till it comes, no one's getting off, and see if you join us at the East Village stop. East Village stop. Stop is going to kind of the Orpheum Theater, 2nd Avenue, State Street. Stop at TKTS. There it goes. Anything else getting off? What's any body parts first? No, I don't blame you. Nobody. No? I got nobody. Want to get a tattoo? You too young for a tattoo. What tattoo? Yeah, they do tattoos with needles. Also, there's another good pastrami restaurant down here called the 2nd Avenue Deli. It's in East State Street. You guys saw the movie, Coyote Ugly? Next block on our left, middle of the block, right in that tree is a Coyote Ugly Saloon. And it's got a red sign with gray writing on it. It's open now. Tuesday, we're dancing on the bar. On our right's a public, this was a former public school, red building, made about 1890. That's what public schools look like. I guess some odd years ago. Little red schoolhouse, right? Big red schoolhouse. And come up on our left is a Coyote Ugly Saloon. Left on the tree here. It's got a red sign with gray writing left hand side. Oh, it is open. They're open. And we're dancing on the bar. On our right is Lonzo's Italian Restaurant, good Italian restaurant. You guys don't recommend that picture, put the Lonzo's. Now the area to our right is called Alphabet City. Because our avenue is A, B, C, and D, and it's Alphabet City. Alphabet City is predominantly Eastern European. I got to remember most of those folks are Polish people. Now, we're crossing 14th Street here in a moment. 14th Street, as I said, when we're downtown, is the widest point in Manhattan. This point right in Manhattan is 200 miles wide, river to river, or 4 kilometers wide, river to river. And Manhattan is 13 miles long, 20 kilometers long. Now, on the right-hand side, coming up, is large green buildings here on other projects. No, not PJ's. This is Peter Stuyvesant Village. About 25,000 people live here to our right. And this community was built about 1943 by Metropolitan Life Company, the insurance company. In 1943, in order to live in Peter Stuyvesant Village, we worked with a married couple. That's right. 2 ladies together couldn't live there, 2 men together couldn't live there. A man by himself could not live there, but a lady by herself could not live there. Stayed away by 1951, and the city finds tickets and help us left. Now they advertise, look at it, the advertisement says, luxury rentals. That's not true. They're very nice rentals. 2-bedroom apartment in Peter Stuyvesant Village is $2,700 a month. 1 bedroom is $2,150. Rents are crazy in New York City, absolutely crazy. Particularly in Manhattan. What's going on? Are they in a hurry? I guess so. Now that's what we look like to them. So look and look at them. A little more character also. Now coming to 23rd Street, at the 23rd Street, 34th Street ahead of us, this area is known as Hospital Row of Bedpan Alley. It's called Hospital Row of Bedpan Alley because from 23rd Street to 34th Street, there's all kinds of medical institutions. On the right-hand side of this is a Veterans Hospital. We have 5 Veterans Hospitals in New York City. Every county is a VA hospital. Of course, there are many more throughout the United States. Most of the Veterans Hospitals were built during World War II. And many of the veterans of World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, many of them never at the hospital. No, they came home, no arms, no legs, totally blind, didn't continuous care. So many veterans never left the hospital. Look out the window ahead of us, you see NYU Dental School, the Chrysler Dental Center. It's a dental school. And my dentist, Dr. Michael Glass, graduate from NYU. He's a very good dentist. and half the teeth in my mouth. I got this guy right over here. You want to see him? Up as low. Now, okay. Those are those all yours? They're lovely. Very nice. Mine look good too, but they're all mine. I got store-boughts. And here's what mine got this good. Next block on our right is Hunter College Nursing School. Right? And next block on our left, the red building, is NYU Medical School. And then you'll notice the Little Red Schoolhouse. In America, for some reason, schools usually go always red. Always red. Little Red Schoolhouse. Contact Medical School. On our right is large new buildings of Bellevue Hospital. Now, Bellevue Hospital is probably the most famous, oldest, and largest public hospital in the United States. Opened by 1731. It is very famous for a psychiatric center. Remember the movie Miracle on 34th Street? It was Santa Claus to Bellevue. Now you do know that was really Santa Claus. Yes. Santa Claus made one movie and then retired. He felt like being typecast. I couldn't say that. Also, Bellevue Hospital was the first hospital to have a woman intern. The first hospital to have use hypodermic needles. First hospital to have ambulance service. And the first hospital to perform a cesarean section was 1897. I thought it would be like a 20th century thing. It was 19th century thing, 1897. Next block on our right, the gray building on our right, is a city mall on that side. Now that's where they've been doing all the DNA testing for the body parts down in the World Trade Center. They found about 20,000 body parts. They identified about 1,460 people. And from the DNA testing, they only found about 250 actual live, complete bodies. Every few days, there's another name or two comes up to the list. But it's becoming fewer and fewer because the DNA is just so tiny, that's what's left. Awful. And continue north to First Avenue. Next block on our right is NYU Medical Center. It's a teaching hospital attached to NYU Medical School. In the United States, as elsewhere, whenever you have a medical school, there's almost always a teaching hospital attached to it. And this teaching hospital is attached to NYU Medical School, so a few blocks south of us. In New York City, we have 185 private hospitals and 11 public hospitals. At one time, we had 16 public hospitals and 250 private hospitals. For the last 35 or 40 years, many of those hospitals are either merged or become nursing homes. In New York City, hospitals don't close. As I swear, they're either merged with another hospital or a nursing home. Now, crossing 34th Street, you look to your right, you see the East River again. And now the buildings you see there on your side of the East River are in Queens County. And that's the area. I took 2 suburbs to the left. That hour from there. Moving on, all of the people in the house at the corner. Right. Queens County is much different than Manhattan. It's much different. Most of those are Queens are relatively low. They're newer than Manhattan. This next stop will be our stop in the United Nations. United Nations originally working in San Francisco. Later was Lake Success on Island, and in 1951 they moved to the present location. The UN is open 7 days a week for tours. The last tour is at 4:45 p.m. and the tour costs $11. The tours are many different languages, including English, Canadian, Irish, Scottish, Australian, and New Zealand. All the exotic languages. And then we got this next stop, United Nations. Anyone for UN? Anyone else says go for UN? The building, here's the UN right out of us. The tall building is the Secretariat. That's the main office building in the UN. This building has a library, the Dark Hammer Show library. Now we'll be crossing 42nd Street in a moment. Look to your left, you see the Chrysler Building, opened 1930. It's 1,050 feet tall, 250 meters tall, 80 floors high. Next one, movie Spider-Man. he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's on top of the Chrysler building, sitting on what looks like gargoyles. And not gargoyles, they're hood ornaments. That's the Chrysler building. It's on 42nd legs. Alright, let me get off this next stop, United Nations. Anyone that says get off? Okay. Nobody's getting off Delacruz. There's 191 member nations. The last two countries to join joined last year. One was Switzerland, and the other one was East Timor, taking part of Indonesia. Two General Assembly building on our left here. Now the flag's not flying, but the General Assembly's not in session. I got nobody getting off. The building directly ahead of us, tall building, that's another trunk building. That's Trunk Well Tower. All condominiums, and Derek Jeter lives in that building. Of course, Derek Jeter looked at the shortstop, and he's very cute. We took Mariah Carey's off. Sophia Loren lives in Trunk Well Tower. She's an Italian actress. Bill Gates is a condominium there. Okay. And you notice Donald Trump's name is on the building. Donald Trump's name is on all these buildings. Yep. This everybody knows who owns the building. It's Donald's building. Now we'll swing right around. The brown building ahead of us, with the brown building right ahead of us, is a Beacon Tower Hotel. Now it's not just a hotel, it's also an apartment house, and Rex Harrison lived there at one time, that English actor. Also, Johnny Carson's two ex-wives lived there at one time. Both blondes, both on driver. Hopefully we're on the same floor. Alright, gibt es Deutsche im Bus? Any Germans on the bus? No? Auf der linken Seite der Ecke steht der Deutsche Konsulat. Oh, I said that in German. Right outside the corner is the German consulate. Right there. See, in New York we talk all these different languages. My best language is English. I talk it the best. You have to like talk, you know? I'm a good talker. Alright, we're making a left-hand turn in just a moment. And this area here is called Turtle Bay. It's called Turtle Bay because at one time there were many turtles in the street. You know, that's Turtle Bay. And we're going to stop coming up. Next stop is 49th Street in Lexington Avenue. In the meantime, folks, watch out for these trees, guys. The trees are moving low the rest of the way. Now, this next stop, 49th and Lex, will be our stop. Lexington will be our stop for the World Astoria Hotel, the Marriott East, the Intercontinental, the Metropolitan, the Roger Williams. It'll also be our stop for Grand Central Terminal. Now, Grand Central Terminal is located on 42nd Street and Park Avenue, and as the name implies, it's grand, it really is. It's a commuter train station. Any folks visit Grand Central Terminal? You look in there? You got a chance, visit Grand Central Terminal, it's really great. Okay. Our main train station, of course, is Penn Station. I'll tell you. This is Third Avenue, and Third Avenue at one time had a little train line down there that broke down 1955. I'll stop in a moment. Now, folks, again, remember, the service industry, advertise a kid in a restaurant, and tipping is customary. So we had a nice time. They show you a nice time, but we didn't stick in the box downstairs. And we did not have a nice time on the other side, but I think I'm out of that box. Everyone's really well in there right now, so. Alright, let's jump on these trees now. Alright, let's go cruise that first thing off. Our stop is on the other side of the traffic light. And there's stop. Come to us, stop here. This will be Yakatana Center, Rock Center. Alright, well done. The World Astoria is not just a hotel. It's also the Putnam House. And Henry Kissinger was here. Also, 1946, Winston Churchill stayed here. Also, Edward VIII stayed here. Edward VIII, of course, was a king of England who abdicated his throne, not Wallace Simpson. Last week I was kind of tired, so I was going to play, I said it was Henry VIII stayed here. Anyway, I'm going to cover the years ago, Henry VIII stayed here. Also, Princess Grace from Monaco and Prince Rainier had their big engagement party at the Roosevelt. And every president from Roosevelt to Clinton stayed at the Roosevelt. Mr. Bush doesn't stay here. I have no idea why he doesn't. Mr. Bush stays at the Sheraton. They tell me that. Maybe he gets a couple of discount there. I don't know. All right, next one is Rockefeller Center. Now, listen carefully. Rockefeller Center is only 3 blocks from Times Square. So if anybody's in a hurry to Times Square, look at us, we're 3 blocks. Also, if anybody's in a hurry for the Empire State Building and or Macy's, our next stop is about a 10-12-minute walk to the Empire State Building and Macy's. Now, folks who want the Empire State Building, folks downstairs, you gotta walk or else you stay right with us and then transfer to a downtown bus for that next stop. You have the option to go with this next stop and walk. Folks who want the uptown tour, stay right with us and we'll transfer at the bus stop. Now, we're crossing Park Avenue here in a moment. As you cross Park Avenue, you look to the left, and you'll see the MetLife Building and the Homesick Building. The MetLife Building was a former P&M building. And the Homesick Building was the New York Central Building. Notice it again now. Any approach in the road from Times Square to the 3-block walk to Rockefeller Center in Times Square. Any approach in the road for Macy's, and go to the Empire State Building, and just walk the bus next stop to walk. 10-minute walk, 10-minute walk, 6th Avenue for Macy's, and 10-minute walk down to the Empire State Building. On the right-hand side coming up is Saks Fifth Avenue. Big longest right-hand side. And occasionally when the rider comes here, occasionally a few things. I don't know why we too much of a shoplifter. The Beverly Hills not here. You know who was arrested also about 6 months ago? Rosario, the maid in Will and Grace. He was also arrested for shoplifting. Where are these people? And this was a Brit, another Brit. Next up is Rockefeller Center. And Rock Center is right ahead of us. There are 19 buildings. Jerry Hawkins is nobody lives there. And the city began building Rockefeller Center in 1930. Rockefeller Center. Left is Christie's, the famous auction house. Now you're allowed to go in there and watch the auctions. But if you do that, keep your hands to your side and don't make any facial movements. They buy like a $30,000 beds. Over $30,000 to bomb or something. We're making our turn here on 6th Avenue. And we are in Rockefeller Center. See, all the buildings get the same. That's all the offices, nobody lives here. There are tours of Rockefeller Center, there are tours of NBC Studios, and there are tours of British Musical. As we make this turn, you'll see Radio City Music Hall in a moment. Radio City Music Hall was the first building on the Rockefeller Center. Atlanta, Georgia, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Cincinnati, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Branson, Missouri, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. Here on left is a very lovely fountain. Last year we had a drought, and all the fountains were closed. And what they did about the fountains, they put pictures of water. That's what they did. I would rather did nothing, to tell you the truth. No drought this year, right guys? No drought, no shortage of water, I'll tell you. Whew. It rains almost every day now.
Real Bush, real run.
That place was good. I'll go there.
Maybe we should just jog up.
$1. All you need is $1. $1 here.
$1? Look. All right, look, it's free. $1 for
$1. All you need is $1.
Damn, man. When the Lord Jesus Christ shall go.
Deixa eu ver aqui o filme. Minutes. It's comic from
David Letterman, HBO. Who's line? His wife doesn't like to do it. That's a pushable fucking challenge. I think it's if you put it together, then you like to I was very high for that day.
I didn't even know he took
Every bag, $10.
And there was something else what? It was like your pain. Like, it was like, I'm gonna go through here for 3 weeks. I'm gonna come back. And anytime someone what up?
זכיתי במין כלב, מה זה מכוער? אז הפקתי לו את זה.
Body language saying whatever.
Close how I'm gonna be like.
Ladies, we have a stand-up comedy show. It starts in 5 minutes. There's no age limit. And we have Adam Hunter from Whose Lines It Anyway.
Pero real que era Broadway.
What it is original way that it is what is what road.
Good.